Brett Kilka here with Dr. Kahl Goldfarb from Water and Sports Physical Therapy, and today we're going to talk about a very common problem with a lot of our teen athletes or youngsters. About 20% of young athletes will get Osgood Schlatter syndrome in the knees, and it creates a lot of pain and discomfort. And what we're going to talk to Dr. Kahl today about, our in-house physical therapist, is how we can do some things to prevent and deal with that type of pain. So Dr. Kahl, what is Osgood Schlatters?
Well, to break it down real simply, is when you have the quad muscle in front of your leg, it attaches down to the front of the knee. You can see here, this is the attachment attached to the bottom of the tibia bone or the shin bone. When you excessively stress that muscle and your body can't handle it during growth and development, you're going to constantly put a pull on this tendon. That pulling causes micro tearing or micro fractures of a bone down here. That bone, called the tibial tuberosity, starts growing due to this extra pressure and change. So you end up getting a larger lump. So those youngsters out there who start getting a bump over the bottom of their knee could have the early stages of Osgood Schlatters. Usually this is accompanied with a significant amount of pain over the bone and over the tendon. So there are different things that can be going on beside Osgood Schlatters, but if you do have Osgood Schlatters, there are a couple exercises you can try to do. So what we're going to do here is show a couple exercises with Brett. What Brett's going to do is we're going to try to decrease the amount of tension or pull on the quads. Important when you stretch the quads, you do it correctly. If you don't do it correctly, you can make things worse. So, you put your foot up top on something nice and high, usually about your pelvis level. You make sure you're face forward, and you make sure you feel a nice tension pull through here. You do not want to push your foot down into the area your foot's lying on. That'll increase the tension in your quad, put more pressure on that bone, and cause a further issue. You stand here like this, you tuck your tailbone under. When you tuck your tailbone under, it puts more stretch on the long quad muscle. When you lengthen this muscle, you'll have decreased tension on that tibial tuberosity. Number two, another exercise you want to do for strengthening. You want to strengthen the quads, but being very careful looking at your mechanics. So Brett's going to show you how you don't want to squat down or jump. Some people call this jumper's knee if it's something in between a tendonitis and Osgood Schlatters. Notice how Brett's knees go over his toes. This is the wrong mechanics. We don't want to do this. When he squats down to jump, he wants to get his hip back behind him. Notice his knees aren't going in front of his toes. That decreases the amount of pressure on that bone. That problem will feel better. So, a good exercise you can do besides squatting correctly is doing a single leg, almost in a lunge position, where he watches the kneecap points forward, kneecap does not go in front of the toe, and he goes down and forward trying to control that motion. Motion control is of extreme importance. If you do this exercise wrong, you're going to cause the same issue that you originally had. So, kneecap forward, not motion side to side, and no motion in front of the toe. What's also extremely important is looking at your shoe wear. If your foot is flat and your foot comes down and in, it pulls your shin bone down and in. That increases the tension on that bone. If you have good shoe wear, or if you have flat feet, you might need orthotics. You can get custom-made orthotics at a physical therapist or podiatrist, but you want to make sure it holds your arch up, which will decrease that internal rotation of that shin bone, decreasing the tension here. This is a problem you don't have to stop your activity. If you do things correctly, you can eliminate the problem before it gets worse. So make sure if you do have this issue, you see a doctor or a physical therapist as soon as it starts to try to resolve that. Thanks for joining us here. I'm Kahl with Water and Sports Physical Therapy, and this is Brett Kilka.
Thanks a lot, guys. And just because that you have some knee pain doesn't mean you should completely shut down. It's not a death sentence. You don't have to be quarantined or anything crazy like that. Just do what Dr. Kahl said. Find the right healthcare professional to help you out. Have a great month, and we'll see you soon.